Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying inside. If you're in Jacksonville, please don't go to the beaches. Yeah, because that's the thing. The beaches are reopened for basically whatever you want to do. Anyways, I assume that most of the people that are watching this channel or watching this video for that matter, you're probably a theme park fan as well as much as I am. You know, we're all eagerly awaiting to get back into the theme parks. We want to get things back to normal, and we want to have our escape. You know, the theme parks are a bit of an escape for everybody. I wanted to talk today about a survey that Universal Studios put out. They sent an email out to some of their annual pass holders, and it was a bit of a survey as to what people are willing to put up with in order to get back inside the theme parks. You know, once they reopen, what would you be comfortable with doing in order to experience the theme park again as close to normal as possible? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, because you know, the email went out yesterday and it quickly circulated around social media, specifically Twitter, and everyone was talking, and it got me thinking, and I wanted to get a discussion going with you guys down in the comment section below, because that's what I like doing with this channel. I like getting conversations going with you guys. So when I read these off to you guys and these different situations and what Universal's been planning, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. Also, if you're new around here, please subscribe. If you've seen any of my videos in the past and you enjoy them, please subscribe to the channel. I try to upload as many videos as I can. More recently, now during the quarantine, there's not so much content coming in, but because I just moved into my house and I'm getting my setup all ready, and you know, I know the room is still empty behind me, a lot more videos are going to be coming. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get started with this survey that Universal Studios sent out. So the very first thing that Universal says in this survey: once state governments permit it, Universal Orlando will reopen. Thank God. How likely are you to consider visiting if the park reopens following its pre-coronavirus standard operating and safety procedures? And it lists very likely, likely, undecided, likely, very unlikely. So we're gonna start going through this. I'll call this one number one. Just let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below, and just say 1, 2, 3, 4, and your response. So for this one, very likely, likely, undecided, unlikely, or very unlikely. Would you be willing to go back? Pretty much. Are you willing to go back once this all blows over, and are you willing to go back with some restrictions? The next one. Below you will find various measures that would help protect the safety and health of our guests and team members. We would like to evaluate each of these measures by telling us how you would feel if it was implemented by Universal Studios theme parks. How would you feel if Universal ... required all guests to wear face masks? This would make me feel more comfortable. This is a basic requirement for me. This would not affect me. This would be a minor inconvenience for me, or this would be a major problem for me. So when the parks reopen, would you be willing to go into the parks and be told, hey, you had to wear a face mask the entire time you were in the park? That's something you're willing to do? Number 3, implements touch-free payments for food, merchandise, and parking. So basically, Apple Pay. You know, would you be willing to, when you're inside the park or when you're paying for parking, just use Apple Pay, where you don't have to touch anything, no cash handling, anything like that? Are you guys willing to do that? This would make me more comfortable, blah, 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 blah. Number 3. Number 4, limits attendance to 50% of park capacity. So basically, you go into Universal Studios and only whatever their normal attendance was, only half of that is able to get inside the park. Is that something you'd be willing to do? I mean, I would be willing to do that. You know, if the park is half empty, then heck yeah. Especially with any of these other measures put in, I would be perfectly willing to do that. Now this one, this was interesting. Number 5, closes indoor attractions and shows. So basically all of Universal Studios Park. Not Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios Park. As far as outdoor shows is concerned, I think there's that pet show that's right outside of Simpsons next to E.T. As far as outdoor shows, the Beat Builders, that's an outdoor show that's still going on. The Acapella Group, the Marilyn Monroe Show, I guess things like that are outdoor shows. But as far as attractions, Rip Ride Rocket, that's an outdoor attraction. I honestly think that's it. Am I missing anything? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to circle the park. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would hope that they keep the indoor attractions open. Shows, I would be okay with losing for a little while, but indoor attractions, that's basically all of Universal Studios Park. Let me know down in the comments, am I missing another outdoor attraction from Universal Studios Park? I know Islands of Adventure, they have a lot of outdoor attractions. But yeah, let me know. Would you be willing to go if they closed all indoor attractions and shows? Number 6, requires team members to wipe down vehicles/seats in between rides. So if you're getting on a roller coaster, say you're getting on the Mummy, every time the group of guests ahead of you gets off the ride vehicle, team members take the time to wipe down the seats and restraints in between rides. Is that something you'd be willing to put up with? Me, personally, yeah, I'd be willing to put up with it. The only downside is that it's going to send efficiency down, 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 down. The efficiency is going to be crap for all the attractions, and it's going to suck. But if you're willing to wait a little bit extra to be a little bit safer, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Limits attendance to 25% of park capacity. And this is number 7. This is number 7. Limits park attendance to 25% of park capacity. So 25% of the normal daily guests, that's almost an empty park, Jesus. Wow, I can't. I mean, it would really suck. I think 50% is good. Hell, I think even 75% would be decent. If you're trying to enforce social distancing, I think even 75% would be a pretty decent number for slashing your park attendance. Let me know what you guys think. I think 25% is a little too low. I don't know how they would possibly enforce that. Number 8, eliminate self-serve food options, e.g. team members will refill your beverages. So Coke Freestyle machines, bye-bye. No Coke Freestyle machines. You would not be able to do that because those are all, on your own. Self-touch, you do it yourself. So let me know what you guys think about that. Basically, no Coke Freestyle machines for your own personal use. If you wanted to refill your Coke Freestyle machine, you would have to hand your cup off to a team member to do it for you. And granted, I'm sure the team member is probably wearing gloves and is sanitizing everything after each use, but just let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below for number 8. Moving on to number 9, enhanced sanitation, e.g. hand sanitizing stations everywhere. Sanitation wipes for all guest contact areas. So just basically hand sanitizers, hand sanitizing stations all around the park, whether it be, you put your hand under it and it gives you a squirt of hand sanitizer, or basically hand wipes all around the park. Let me know what you guys think. I know over at Disney, they had hand washing stations throughout the park where they had hoses. If you've ever been to a carnival or a fair or something like that and they have portable bathrooms, outside they have little portable hand washing stations where they have a hose hooked up and you hit a foot pedal and water came out and you can wash your hands like that. Disney was doing that just before they closed, so let me know, would you guys be willing to put up with that, seeing that throughout the park? Me personally, I don't care. If I feel the need to wash my hands, I can go to one of those stations. Yeah, totally, absolutely. I wouldn't care. Let's see, number 10, encourages all guests to wear face masks. Wait a minute, we already went over that. Would you be willing? Coda's laughing in the background in the other room. And Coda's laughing in the other room. Yeah, again, number 10, would you be willing to wear a face mask? Me, yes, of course, I'm willing to wear a face mask. And you can make them really cool. Like, people are going really creative with their face masks nowadays, and you can put a bunch of different patterns and designs on it. It look really cool. I would rock a face mask to Universal Studios. Now, this is the interesting one. Requires all guests to have their temperature taken. Those with fevers would have their temperature checked with a handheld thermometer. Those testing consistently high would be refused admission. Would you be willing to submit to temperature checks? Me? Absolutely. Temperature checks are absolutely necessary. I know in theme parks, or not theme parks, in airports, some major airports, they have temperature check stations already set up, and in some international destinations, they have, thermal cameras that can read body temperature as you're walking by, and if a person has an elevated body temperature, they know that something's wrong with that person probably, and they'll step aside and they'll do additional screening. So would you be willing to go through that? When you walk in and you have the thermometer gun that they have, they point it at you, a little laser at your head, and they get your temperature like that. If not, they'll use a handheld thermometer. And if for some reason you have a higher elevated temperature, then you just can't get inside the park. I mean, I'm sorry, you know, it's definitely one of the surefire signs of being sick. You might not have coronavirus, but you might have something. So is this something that you're willing to put up with in order to get inside the park? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. Let's see, was that number 11? I think that was number 11, number 11. Number 12, how would you feel if these measures were implemented by Universal Studios theme parks? They already asked this. Cuts park attendance to 75% of park capacity. That was number 12. Let's see. Strongly encourages all guests to wear face masks. They repeat these questions a lot. But this isn't a requirement. This isn't a requirement. Strongly encourages all guests, which means you don't have to, but they strongly encourage it. So, I mean, that's I guess up to you. If Universal Studios basically had a sign out front saying, "We strongly encourage all guests to wear face masks," would you be more comfortable? It's a basic requirement. Would it not affect you? Would it be a minor inconvenience or a major problem? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. That is number 13. Number 14, this is going to be a major one, and this is very interesting. I don't know how they would handle this. Removes all 3D glasses from rides. So any attraction that uses 3D, basically anything inside Universal Studios Park, they have to remove the 3D glasses. And would that mean that they would turn whatever attraction or show into a non-3D and they would have a 2D version? I'd be willing to do that because there's so much use of 3D in Universal Studios, and I'd be willing to put up with a 2D version for a little while if it meant, you know, being safe and sanitary. I mean, the glasses are supposed to be sanitized in between uses anyways. You know, you get off of an attraction and you're supposed to put your glasses into a bin and they're supposed to be sanitized. And I hope that they're doing that, but just let me know your thoughts and opinions. If they turned all the 3D attractions into 2D, is that something you'd be willing to put up with? Number 15. I don't really know how this affects you guys, but I guess they're just trying to get your thoughts on this one thing as well. Requires all team members to undergo a daily rapid COVID test. Results within 15 minutes. Only those with negative results will be permitted to work. I think that's pretty much a no-brainer. I think most people would say, yes, go ahead, submit all the team members to a rapid COVID test whenever they come into work. It would take a lot of time to go through all the team members each day as they come into work, but if that's something that people say that they want Universal Studios to do, then I'm sure Universal Studios will find a way to do it. It'll be expensive, it'll be time consuming, but I think I have full confidence that Universal Studios will be able to handle that. Number 16, I don't know how I feel about this one. Suspends X-ray conveyor belts at security. If you guys don't already know, at Universal Studios, they don't individually check your bag. They don't have someone that digs through your bag with gloves on to see what you have. You put your bag, it's almost like being screened at the airport. You put your bag on a conveyor belt, it goes through an x-ray, they look at it, they see what's inside. If there's anything bad, then they go and inspect. If there's nothing bad, then you're free to go. You take your bag and you're on your merry way. But I don't know if this means that they would not do that. I don't know what they would do as far as security, because I think the last thing people want right now is for some security team member to go digging through their bag after they've handled so many other people's bags from all around the world throughout the day, and who knows how often they're changing their gloves. I think that this is bad. This would be a major problem for me if they suspended the x-ray conveyor belts. I mean, they could easily sanitize the conveyor belts every so often, you know, just have someone there just wiping it down as it's moving, you know, that would make it really easy to do. But other than that, that would be a big problem for me. Number 17, requires all team members to wear face masks. So if you don't have to wear a face mask when you're going into the park, then the team members would be wearing a face mask, basically. Or everyone, guests and team members. Would you be okay walking through Universal Studios and seeing team members wearing face masks? That'd be very interesting to see. I'm sure Universal Studios would do their best to make the face masks themed, depending on where they are. If you're walking through Marvel Superhero Island and you see a team member, they might have a Marvel themed face mask on. That would be pretty interesting. In Wizarding World of Harry Potter, it would be a more generic fabric looking face mask that I'm sure would match their costumes. But you let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Would you be comfortable with walking through Universal Studios and seeing team members wearing face masks? Number 18, seats guests in every other row and every other seat for rides and shows. So basically, cutting the efficiency in half for rides and attractions and shows. So every other seat, every other row. So if you're riding the Mummy, it's an 8-seater vehicle. I was about to hold up 4 times 2, 8. 8-seater vehicle, and you have 4 seats per row. So every other seat, you'd only have 2 people every other row. How would you feel about that? Again, it would significantly increase the wait times, but if you're willing to go through that, then let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down in the comment section below. It would suck. It would really suck for a little while, but again, if they also implement cutting down the theme park attendance cap by 50% or 75% even, the lines would be significantly lower, and I think it would balance itself out, but we would have to see this in practice, of course. What number were we on? 19? 20? I don't know. Anyway, I think we're on 20. Let's say 20. Implements social distancing practices throughout the park, e.g. 6-foot distance when queuing for lines, table spacing at restaurants, mobile food ordering. So just, you know, staying the hell away from whoever you're with, whoever's next to you, you know? If there's a person walking next to you, 6 feet, just move 6 feet apart. If you're inside a restaurant, they're probably gonna get rid of a few tables because they're all about, you know, cramming as many people in as possible, but if you're there at a restaurant, they'll probably get rid of a few tables and you'll have a little bit of space in between people. Basically an introvert's dream, you know, just conversing with less people, being around less people. You know, if you're an introvert, now's probably the time to go to a theme park if you've never been comfortable going to a theme park. And also mobile ordering, so no really standing in line to order food. If you go to the Leaky Cauldron, you'll be on your little handy dandy mobile device and you can order magically your chicken sandwich, which I have been dying for. Please, Universal, open it up because I want that chicken sandwich. Thank you. Number 21, suspends parades and nighttime show gatherings. This is pretty much a given, I'm sure, because there's no way to enforce social distancing with that. It's going to happen at Disney. I'm sure it's going to happen at Universal Studios, where, you know, when you have a parade or something like that, you can't, people are just going to be grouped together, and that's just going to be, that's just a recipe for disaster if you have no way of enforcing that. Let's see, next up on our list, requires all guests to undergo a rapid COVID test. Results in 15 minutes. Only those with negative results would be permitted to enter. Again, I don't know how they would even think about handling this. Because is there going to be a holding area for guests? Like, are they going to... The only way that I would think that this would work is if you're coming into the parking lots or into the parking garages and they give you a test right there, and then they send the results as you're parking and walking through security and walking to the front gates. If there is a system that can transmit the results between then and there, when you're coming into the parking garage and when you get to the turnstiles. Again, it would suck if you went to the parking garage, you went through all that, you get to the turnstiles only to be told no, you have a positive test result. But again, it would be very interesting to see. I don't know how they would do this, but it is also a more surefire way than a temperature check, because you can be asymptomatic and not have a fever but still be positive for the virus. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. I'm very curious to see how they would do this, but if they can make it so and not have it be a bother and not congregate people into a holding area while they await their test results, then it'd be great. I would be so for this if they can make it so that it doesn't inconvenience people that much. And last up on our list, implements a virtual line waiting system for all or most attractions. So basically, Rise of the Resistance for every attraction at Universal Studios. I know some attractions have a virtual waiting system. I know Jimmy Fallon had one. I don't know if they still utilize that. Fast and the Furious has one. I don't know if they still utilize that. But Let me know what you guys think. If any of you guys have ridden Rise of the Resistance, then you know very well the virtual queue system. So when you get inside the park, I guess you would go onto the Universal Studios app and you would search for an available time to ride an attraction. That way you don't have to stand in long queues with a bunch of people in a tight little space. It would just basically be a Universal Express lane through the attraction, so that way you're not having to stand for such a long time with a bunch of different people. I think this would be a perfect system. Again, it's not ideal because, you know, a lot of times you want, you know, sometimes the queues are part of the experience. For example, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. You know, you're walking through Hogwarts. There's so much to see in that queue that makes waiting in the queue a little bit worth it sometimes. Granted, if the queue's a little bit excessive, like 2 hours, then of course not. But, you know, walking through some of the show scenes in that queue make the queue very much so worth it. And I think that if this virtual queue gets implemented, basically all the attractions would be express lane only. And you miss so much of the detailed queues in those express lanes. I mean, yeah, you're waiting less for the attractions, but at the same time, though, you're missing out on that queue stuff. I don't know, that's just me. I personally enjoy looking at some queues, and I don't mind waiting in some queues depending on the attraction, you know. So just let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. Alright guys, so that is it. Universal Studios put out this survey yesterday, and I wanted to get this video out there to get a discussion going down in the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. All of this stuff that Universal sent out, what are you willing to put up with? What are you not willing to put up with? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully the theme parks reopen soon. They've kept pushing their opening dates back more and more and more. And, you know, we just want things to get back to normal, and we are just all itching to get back into theme parks. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, let me know down in the comments section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed as well. Subscribe if you're new around here. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.